Okay, let's have a look at the chart for the week ahead. We'll start with the S&P 500 on the weekly. We're getting quite up high to this level. If we're going to remain bullish, it's looking like your first target. An absolute high this week is going to be probably somewhere around 4,010, just over 4,000. We had a double strike here, which led into this sell-off. We've had your first strike, so it's possible that we could go and see a potential strike up here. Looking at the weekly chart, that would be reasonable. I certainly think, looking at it, we're at least going to get a little bit higher up to that zone, even if we do end up closing the week red, for example. Let's have a zoom down to the daily, see if that gives us anything slightly different. Yeah, I mean, this is, I'd say it's kind of looking strong. It was until just now. Let's have a quick zoom in. So it was looking really strong here, but then it's kind of hit this resistance level and not really been very happy with it. We've actually broke out of this trend line on the daily. I mean, it's still technically Sunday morning, Sunday night even, in the US, so it's very possible that we're going to go a bit higher during the day session. But we've certainly got some sort of resistance around this zone to consider. In terms of the moving averages, well, we tested the 50, came back down, we actually stayed above the 100, came back down, and then we've just had this pretty solid move up for the past couple of days. So that's one to think about. This level is going to be pretty critical, I think, looking at this, because here's your previous peak, your all-time highs here, intraday from the 16th of Feb. 11th of March was almost as high, but not quite as high. However, actually, if you look on the SPX, it's a slightly different story. If you look on the SPX, interestingly enough, the high on the 16th of February is actually lower than the high on the 11th, which is odd. I'm pretty sure that's probably indicating something. As in regards to who trades, because I know there's a lot of options contracts that are rolling over as well, so that could be something to consider. Interestingly enough, I believe the Nasdaq, I believe there is a contract rollover this week, so might actually see lower volume potentially. So what we could see as well is we're getting to quite high levels. Obviously, there's going to be plenty of idiots that'll just buy at any price, but a lot of the more technical, experienced traders are going to be looking at going, yeah, okay, maybe now is the time that I start thinking of just holding cash and waiting, really, instead of buying back in at the all-time high. I mean, the all-time high way back down here wasn't a problem, but now it's not quite the same. Let's have a look on the. Let's say initially look at the 4 hour. Let's see what the 4 hour is giving us. Okay. Let's zoom that back. So this was your megaform here. Ish. Just do a rough line. You can kind of see this break, retest, and a move up. And we've gone back up, tested resistance here. Come back down, found support, gone back up to retest it. Actually failed with a lower high at the moment. Well, I wouldn't read too much into this because it's still Sunday night, early morning in the US, so there's not really any volume to be trying to think about pushing higher. On that basis, it is pretty likely that we are going to just head a bit higher today. However, the only thing that we do need to consider is the market's been trading a bit differently lately. It was just green, and what we have seen is we've seen these big sell-offs, and it gets up to a quick level and then it just flips. So whilst I do think it could go up, there is definitely that possibility now that perhaps there wasn't before of just this big sell-off. In which case you're probably going to be looking at getting down to around this sort of level. I think it's about 38.60. There's got a gap here, but a bit of support. I mean, there's a support line here, so this is going to be first support potentially. There's probably no point in going into the hourly chart on that basis because, like I say, there's not much going on here. This is just your resistance level. It's going to be around, about 39.60-ish, just short of. So that's where we're looking for the S&P 500. I'll keep this video nice and short, and I'll do other videos on the other indexes.